is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the world of Meghan Markle, because, or to give her a correct name, Meghan Sussex. I know someone might now want to query whether that's actually her last name or not Markle, because we know her by her actor name. We often confuse these. Queen Elizabeth II bestowed upon her and Harry the title of Sussex, which is their last name because of the title. A title they do not deserve and I wish they'd give up. Otherwise, if they did not have a title, they would be Harry and Meghan Windsor Mountbatten. I thought I'd insert this as somebody that vaguely understands the royal family titles. It's why right now we have a Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, who's also the Prince of Wales, and next in line for the throne. This crops up a little bit on some of the more recent cringy content produced by Meghan Markle, shared all over social media. Via her Instagram story, she shared a 6-second clip because there is a season 2 of With Love, Meghan. That is the name of her show, cooking, talking, gossiping, and bleh, where she tries to make herself seem like she's more relatable than she really is. All the while coming across as incredibly out of touch, providing historical revisionism content as a way of trying to downplay just how privileged her life has been. Many people all over social media hate her, not because of her race, because somebody will undoubtedly say it. They hate her because she's a fraud. No one cares about Harry. He's nowhere near the throne, which is probably for the best. Knowing him, he'd want it just to abdicate, emulate his hero, King Edward. What I do for this video is go through some of the more recent content that has been doing its rounds, and the response from the lowly plebeians such as myself and others. We'll start with the initial tweet that started this off for me. As expected, #WithLoveMeghan is renewed for a second round of bad puns, basic boring banter and lame content. I predict it would not do as well as second time round because the curiosity factor has been satisfied and it is bad. As far as her brand, I don't think it's going to do well. I think it will be overpriced and riddled with issues. She thinks she's hilarious with that hat. She's not. It's cringe, bad dad jokes, and then a bunch of hashtags. What I can believe is that Season 1 and Season 2 were filmed back to back. I can believe that because Netflix have done that in the past. And also based on the current stock for these two clowns, I can also believe they'll want to get rid of them as soon as possible because nobody else seems to want them. Understandably so with the shift in political landscape and people getting bored of their one-dimensional play. I keenly await them to start begging it up as NPCs on TikTok. Let's face it here, it seems like an inevitable step because there's no chance they're either going to consider only Fupa Freiber a failed out-of-film actor accounts. Thank the Lord Nicolas Cage for that. Another video tweeted out, slightly over a minute, we'll show some of that, was tweeted out by Harry's Grey Suit who had quoted, "Meghan Markle's cooking show is a disaster." It is believed Meghan Markle has been going out of her way to silence social media. Understandably so when the internet is not on her side, and it's unlikely they'll ever be on her side. Not because of Harry, just to be clear, but because outside of Suits, she has no real personality that anyone can get behind, and she is a proven snake.
Meghan Markle's cooking show is an out-of-touch disaster.
This is all fake.
It is not a backdrop, this is not a green screen.
She tells people under no circumstances should they be using tap water for their ice cubes.
Not just use tap water.
There's people dying, Meghan. She claims that she had this very impoverished childhood where she was raised by her single mother Doria on just junk food, so she basically finds a way to trash her family again and again. That's actually not true.
Even with me growing up, it was so much fast food. And yes, I get when you're on a budget, super affordable, but it costs you so much in the long run.
What's interesting is who does and does not consider themselves a supporter of the royal family and who does or does not support Harry and Meghan. This is an interesting distinction because many believe it's just the United Kingdom that despise Harry and Meghan. But this isn't the truth. In fact, you'll often find many within the US don't care either because, again, we've seen their hand. They've turned up to play poker and showed us their hand before the next card is dealt. You have a pair of jacks at best.
Meghan was on, what was she on, Drew Barrymore? Was that it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
With the show, certainly what hospitality has felt like for me is how do you make people feel comfortable?
I do you mix them?
Yeah, like the royal family when she called them all racist, Laura. Look, I think we've seen her brand of hospitality. It ends with people not speaking to each other and having to leave their country of origin. But look,
if with this hand that Meghan and Harry have played about the royal family being racist, they played it and solely and exclusively targeted Prince Philip, nobody would have cared. But you aimed it at Queen Elizabeth as well. Queen Elizabeth is held in such high regard. You aimed it at everyone, and you did it solely because you wanted to be front and centre. Considering how far away from the throne you were, it made zero sense. A decent quality of life where all you had to do was work for this country, or take money from his dad to pay for a mansion, live off your friends, sponge off a bunch of rather lucrative deals that you didn't deserve, play your hand, and then have sod at the end of it. One does wonder. Now, an interesting point was raised by Paula Matanovich. The internet truly is forever. Meghan Markle complaining during the Oprah interview that she nearly lost her name, and is now bitching to Mindy Kaling that she is now a Sussex, even though that is technically a lie. This woman needs to be institutionalized, and it's frightening that people keep enabling her lies and giving her a platform. I would say when it comes to the title aspect, there is a point she can claim to being a Sussex. Of course she can. It's the way royal titles work in this country. It's a load of bollocks. As far as I'm concerned, she's Markle as an actress because that's her actor name. In her personal life, she is technically a Windsor Mountbatten, or a Windsor because the Mountbatten stuff no one actually gives a crap about.
I nearly lost my name. I mean, there's the loss of identity.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
It's interesting to see that with the rapport she has with the guests on her show, they are to her beneath her. No matter the fame, the acclaim, the success, they are lesser. It's the mannerism in delivery with conversation, the dismissive attitude, no contact of eyes. It looks disingenuous and like somebody pretending to be a royal. And I say pretend because it could be considered a loose-lipped LARP. Now, one of the many areas people are calling BS on with regards to her upbringing is the claim that she grew up on TV dinners and junk food. To best call into question this claim of an impoverished upbringing that have been debunked many, many times. According to Taz, it tweeted, Meghan tells Alice Waters she grew up on junk food. She mentioned several times she was a latchkey kid who ate TV dinners and junk to Mindy Kaling. Meanwhile, in 2016 on Chopped Jr. as a judge, she's not fluent in Spanish, but she's certainly fluent in bull.
But I will say, I really enjoyed eating your food. This dish reminded me of the kind of food that I grew up eating in California, like that real sort of farm-to-table, fresh, really simple ingredients.
When I was a kid, I would be sent to school with corned beef sandwiches, as in the beef from a tin with a key that survived World War I and II. I would never have any snacks, and my friends at school might help me. One or two friends would give me maybe a Satsuma or a club, little chocolate bars with a biscuit in the middle. That was the best I could hope for. Corned beef sandwiches from bread that came from quick save that suddenly never deteriorated until the exact moment you're about to eat it. You want to know what it's like to grow up impoverished? You're not it. I didn't see a salad like that until I was in my 20s. I'm not trying to flex here. I'm just trying to say that if you think what you had was impoverished, you have no sodding idea. You really don't, Meghan. You couldn't be more out of touch. Kids now, in my country especially with the school lunches, they get a massive, improved quality of food. Honestly, if I found a pound coin, I'd go and buy a 4-pack of cookies from the co-op. That's me covered for lunch for 4 days. It was great. Otherwise, it was corned beef sandwiches. And I hate, by the way, I to this day will not eat cold corned beef. Now, while the internet is quite picky as a landscape, something that has been latched onto concerns the two children, Archibald and Little Betty, or Lilibet. On a recent showing with Drew, who, from the Charlie's Angels movies, that Drew, that one, yeah. Some of the words they still say with an accent, a British accent, Meghan Markle had said. Many question this, because Meghan lies. If the children have a British accent when they live in California and have rarely stepped foot in the United Kingdom, it could mean the children are isolated with only Harry and his bodyguard around them. Could possibly be a deflection because the children don't have biological traits due to being rented when needed or just non-existent, so trophy children, or Meghan is so stupid she doesn't know the difference between the meaning of accent, a word that factors into the clip that I can't play because it will get a copyright claim from Drew. This was tweeted by The Royal Grift, and I like it. It's a very accurate summation of if you yourself as a parent spend all your time around your kids and they still possess early on their English accent, even though they've never stepped foot in England, Lilibet is one of them, then it seems like it's likely they're spending more time with their father than they are with the mother, because we pick up our accents from our parents. I do know people, though, that use two accents. There's an actor called John Barrowman. He has a Scottish accent and an American accent. He uses his Scottish accent when he's around his family. American accent in the wider, landscape. It's just one of those things. Some people have that. So it's possible that, but it's equally possible that, well, Meghan's not really involved much. And I can believe that. The internet is a weapon. She is falling somewhat closer to lolcow territory. When all of this, all her TV show appearances, and all the crap she does falls apart, she will start begging, and when she does, well, I get to have a jolly good laugh. With her new season of her cooking crap premiering, something that was immediately cottoned onto and noticed by the audience was how she stores her chicken, which has been now dubbed Salmonella Central. The reason for this is because she has been storing her chicken after, in a nice, neat, orderly row, presenting her chicken on a shelf, uncovered, not stored, just exposed. Now, to get around the accusations of salmonella, she is parboiling the chicken and then storing it. That would sound smart, wouldn't it? But I fundamentally disagree with this, and anyone that stores their chicken like this, get help. Now, the show itself hasn't really been doing that well. The show, by the way, is not going to get renewed, and that's after 3 days of its release. The reviews, the ratings, are abysmal. It fell out of the top 10 globally after 2 days. It has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 11%. Now you could say, oh, that's the review bombing. No, it's people not being a fan of what she does. Please, don't try us. I can't think of anyone that deserves this more. Even the reviews only have it at 33%.
The one thing you need to know, though, when doing these, I've made this mistake. Do not just use tap water.
Great, thanks, Meghan. Next time I am trying to make a rushed cocktail, at midnight when I come home from work, I'll make sure that I put filtered water in my ice cubes so that they're not cloudy. She thinks that these are sort of like her, she says, oh, you want to take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
Via a Daily Mail exclusive thing that I had to archive to get rid of the silly little ad blocker on it, her father, Thomas Markle, has been scathing in his review of her and her disdain towards her own name, and that while she sings her praise for her grandmother, Thomas Markle's mother, she herself would not have been overly proud of the kind of person Meghan is being. Now, as we've all been on the internet for a long time, we know we've made it as a creator when we have been parodied in some way. I'm going to play some of those now, because she's been parodied. She's not a fan of it, but she's been parodied nonetheless.
Now let me show you how the Duchess of Sussex made this. Welcome to my home. Well, it's not my home, it's a set actually, but welcome to my set. It's actually so funny that you keep calling me Meghan Markle. I'm Sussex now. I'm gonna take these and we're gonna take them out of the box. And basically what we're gonna do, take more plastic. Wrap it up. That's what Harry said. And then you just put I like to put a beautiful little label on it.
I find it really weird that you keep calling me Markle because that's not my name anymore. No, I'm married now. It's Skegness. Yes, Skegness. And it's important, because it's the name I share with my children. Well, one of them anyway, because obviously the other three have got their father's names. But, it's really important because me and Caden, we share the name Skegness, and it's really cute. And I never realised how important that would be to me.
Not going to lie, those are very good, accurate summations for the kind of crap we had to put up with. Clips of which I find an affront to the internet, but since the internet is forever, you have to take the good with the bad. Now, Meghan has put out a statement, right? And I thought we'd finish this video by reading it. In this day and age, I think we are just dealing with too many judgmental people in the film industry, and there are just too many misguided people out there that like to poke at what it means to be a woman. Do you know what a woman is, though? Now, with this series that me and my team put together, so perfectly I might add, it absolutely demonstrates what it means to be a woman with skills, a woman that can provide for the world. What I find to be very irresponsible behaviour, though, coming from the public, is the toxicity coming from men and surprisingly now women, that just aren't really educated enough to know that this is a series for them. And we didn't take aim to make the series for men. Many like to call me different names, like to say I'm not as genuine or authentic as I should be, and those are just lies, pure lies, coming from people that have their own narrative going on. there's a ton of misogyny and sexism going on in this world right now. And I think that with this show we can help create a remedy to that. It's unacceptable behaviour for those across social media to say we weren't doing this for improving others or to educate others. This is absolutely a series about educating those how to cook and how to be a resourceful woman in a household. And I must say I expected better results with our project, and I hope we reach so many more in the coming days to expand our reach and our word for what it takes to be a powerful woman in 2025. We teach you how to cook and how to handle so many tasks in this series, and that's what I find to be so special for With Love, Meghan. We need to stop obsessing over one's personality, or lack thereof. What I'm deeply offended by is this new trend of review bombing and false criticism for a series so many sexist and misogynists tend to oppose whenever something involves a woman. And I think that with this feedback, that we have seen the criticism is coming from a very loud place, a very dark place of lost individuals that have no clue who they are or how to fix themselves. It's quite concerning actually that this is how our world works right now, and just how accepted? Yes, accepted? Do you mean accepted? ACC, that is. I think she meant accepted, not accepted. Okay. What cracks me up is in the same sentence of misogyny, you reference educating women to be resourceful in the home. Your internal misogynist is coming to the front and saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm a smeghead, give me attention." You deserve the review bombing if that is the case, and the misogyny. Congratulations.